All right, so I heard the title of this reading earlier today, this morning actually. And then different forms of it have been coming to me in different ways today. And I knew I was supposed to do this reading, but I wasn't feeling well. I had a sore throat and a bit of a headache. So I thought to myself, I'll do it tomorrow. And I went to bed not too long ago. Then a friend of mine sent me a message and sent me a song that was a message. And it resonated and related to the title of this reading. So here I am. I got out of bed. I've turned the air conditioner off. I hope it helps. I think the fan, you can still hear it a bit, but hopefully not too much. But I got out of bed to do this reading because I guess it needs to be done now, and it's important. And as you know, the title is The Awakening is Over, the Rising is Here. I'm not guided to get cards yet, I'm guided to just speak, so I'm going to just speak. Probably like me, a lot of you have been on this path for a while. Or maybe you haven't been. Maybe it's new. But the awakening has happened, okay? So some of us maybe took a lot longer, started long ago, in this lifetime. Started as children, or it started, as teenagers, or it started in our 20s or our 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, who knows when it started for others. But for some of us, it started early and had many iterations. For others, it's started recently and, maybe it was quicker. What I do know is that the people who had started for decades ago have helped pave the way for the people who are awakening or have awakened recently. But it doesn't matter. This isn't a competition. What matters is that the awakening has happened now. The awakening is over. The rising is here now. You'll know what that means, I hear. I don't have to explain it. It will resonate with you. The awakening is over. The rising is here now. Okay, they do want me to get cards now, so I'm gonna get a deck of cards and see what comes. Bear with me while I get these cards. All right, they want me to use this deck. It's a beautiful deck. Whoa, okay. The card just fell right out of the deck, and it's the Empress card, and this doesn't surprise me. So I actually did a reading for someone earlier today, and this was the last card. And the reading basically just confirmed everything the person knew. And this was the last card, and it said you're in your Empress era. You are fertile, you are abundant, you are creator, you are whole, you are ready. So we're gonna put that card there. That's what they want from this deck. Interesting, I thought they might want me to pull more cards, but no. Now they want me to, they said, get your new deck, get your new deck. I forgot I even got a new deck. I got this deck called the Inner Oracle. No, the Inner Temple Oracle. Now I got it because someone I like to watch readings, who does readings, was using this deck, and I thought it was interesting. I haven't used it much at all. I just opened it and checked it out. So this is the first reading I'm doing with this. And let's see what they want to say with these cards today. All right. I heard to cut, so I'm cutting. All right. Let's see. Life force. Life force. All right. Sorry that the light is dim in here. As I mentioned, I have a bit of a headache, and I don't want it to turn into like a, what do they call them? You know, when you, an ocular migraine, is that what it's called? So I'm keeping the lights low. So I might struggle reading a little bit, but I can see, don't worry. Okay, life force. Here we go. Page 72, if 72 means anything to someone. It might mean something to all of us. I might need to look up 72. But first, let me read the card here. There's an intelligent, sacred pulse woven through all of life. This sacred, intelligent pulse is within all living things. It's the life force itself and one of the greatest mysteries there is. When we're connected to that, we're connected to life itself. This card comes with a message of vitality and connection. It can appear when we feel energetically alive, or it can be a wake-up call to consider whether we feel disconnected from the force, and then to find a way to make decisions based on what increases our connection to our life force or vital energy. It also represents a Kundalini Shakti awakening. The awakening has happened already. The awakening has happened, which occurs when the spiritual energy dormant within the body begins to activate and rise. The rising is here. The awakening is over. The rising is here. Interesting. Shakti is the Sanskrit word for the spiritual cosmic energy of the divine feminine, the Empress. All right. No two Kundalini Shakti awakenings are the same. Many side effects can occur, from physical shaking to bouts of ecstatic bliss, and from physical and emotional purging to seeing spiritual visions of past lives or ancestral memories, and the processing of what has been dormant in the physical. This card is a powerful one to receive. It's like a bolt of lightning, full of activating energy, and often indicates a period of awakening and transformation, frequently with physical symptoms. The invitation is to align with the life force. It comes with a question. What in your life increases your life force? What in your life diminishes your life force? Okay, so that makes a lot of sense with what we're talking about. So, my sense is that everybody who's tuning into this reading, you've had an awakening. You've had that Kundalini Shakti awakening. And like I said, there's no two are alike. You know, some people shake and vibrate. I've seen it myself. Some people, it's like waves are going through them. Some people even vomit. You know, some people have very strong physical symptoms. Others have very vivid visions. Others experience it in a very gentle way, in a very, very gentle way. So don't judge your awakening. Don't question it. It's happened. That's what this message is saying. The awakening is over. The rising is here. And so we've been talking about the awakening for decades, for sure. I know for decades, because I've been involved in these discussions that people have been having for decades. I don't know how long before that. maybe since the beginning of time. I don't know. But we don't talk about the rising as much, but it is being talked about now. I'm noticing it everywhere. The word rise is being used a lot more. So I like that this card says, it says something about the rising here. Where was it? It said, where did it say it? Can I find it quickly? It did say something about it. I know it did. Okay, it's not important what it said, but what I understood. So what I'm understanding is that we're in the rising. The rising is here now. The awakening has happened. The rising is here now. And the rising is, so the awakening is awakening from your unconscious state, right? And realizing that, your unconscious or your subconscious has been running the show. And then you're coming into a place of recognizing that that's been happening, and also that you're connected to the whole, that you can create your life, you can run the show for yourself in tandem with spirit, I'm going to say, whatever spirit is to you. And it says the invitation is to align with the life force. It comes with the question, what in your life increases your life force and what in your life diminishes your life force? So the rising is where you start to consciously choose things that increase your life force, and you let go of the things that diminish it. That's the rising, okay? So the awakening is over. The rising is here. That's what we want to focus on now, the rising, the conscious choices we make to rise, to bring that life force energy up. Here it is, I found it, how it said it here. It can represent a Kundalini Shakti awakening, which occurs when the spiritual energy dormant within the body begins to activate and rise. So that energy has been awakened, and it's been activated, and it's rising now. It's time to rise, and you can help it rise by making decisions and choices to pursue what increases your life force and not what diminishes it. Okay? There's an activation here that I'm going to read, because the activation is in between the awakening and the rising in what I just read. Okay? So I'm going to try to read it here. I might need some light. Let me let some light into this room. Is this going to help? No. Let me open the blinds just a little bit. Okay. I think I can read this part. It got really dark for a minute. Okay, here's the activation. I choose to align my energy centers with the pulse of life. I say yes to that which increases my vital energies and makes me come alive. I recognize that I am an extension of the energy of the earth. Beautiful. Okay. 1331. I can't ignore that. And the other number I was going to look up was 72. So let's look up 72 first, I hear, and then 1331. That was on the timer. So 72. It's important to reconnect with yourself and your internal world in order to experience more clarity in your external world. Okay? Now 1331. You are being invited to revisit your current circumstances in order to reevaluate your opportunities to learn and grow. So that's interesting. Reconnecting with your internal world to understand the external world. And then you're being invited, let me go back to that, 1331. You're being invited to revisit your current circumstances in order to reevaluate your opportunities to learn and grow. So I just saw 1441. Okay, then I'll see what was going to come after that. They want me to read the 1441 as well. So I'm going to read it. Where is it? Your angels are communicating, but you aren't listening. It's important to know that their messages are always given for the higher good, even if they don't seem to be in line with your plans. Know that they are following God's plan. Okay. So if there's something in your external world that seems to not be what you want, you're being encouraged to go within and listen to yourself, to spirit, to the universe, to earth, to the angels, whatever you want to call any of it. Okay, because that's going to bring you clarity about this external circumstance that is an opportunity to learn and grow, okay, and to rise within. So, what was I going to say before 1441 showed up? It was, okay, I saw the 1551 and I was trying to ignore it. But isn't that what the message just before said? Your angels are communicating and you're not listening. So let's not ignore that. Your angels are encouraging you to be brave and strong. It's important for you to see where changes are required in order to feel aligned with purpose and abundance. Okay, yeah. So your awakening is done, right? The activation message there was to bring you into a place of wanting to be in alignment, right? It's saying, let me read that again, the activation part. It says, I choose to align my energy centers with the pulse of life. I say yes to that which increases my vital energies and makes me come alive. I recognize that I am an extension of the energy of the earth. So now they want me to go back to the 1551. Yeah, it's important for you to see where changes are required in order to feel aligned with purpose and abundance. And that brings me back to those two questions. You know, what increases your life energy force and what your life force and what decreases it? You need to reflect on that and identify that and then make conscious choices to pursue the things that increase it. That's the rising. Okay, that's the rising. The awakening is over. You've done the awakening. The rising is here now. Okay? I hope this is making sense to you. Yeah, I just hope it's making sense to you. I'm still a little foggy with my headache, but it is easing up. Here we go. What does this say? Ancestral healing. Okay. Yeah, we've been doing that. We've all been doing that. We know we've been doing that. What do they want to say about it with this book? The ancestral healing. The first thing I'm hearing as I'm trying to find the card in the book is that it's time to rise for all of our ancestors. We live in a very interesting time. You know, we have this luxury to do this. Not all of our ancestors, probably none of our ancestors, to be honest, have lived in a time that they had the luxury to do this. Maybe some did way back, I don't know. But so this is part of the ancestral healing. Rising is part of the ancestral healing, okay? So page 62. During these times, so much is coming up for healing. We're discovering how hurt can be passed down from cell to cell through the generations. Our ancestors are the reason we're here, and without them, our soul couldn't be in human form. From them, we may inherit many gifts, as well as patterns of conditioning and trauma that we long to be freed from. Many of these patterns are coming to the surface now in order to be processed and healed. Sometimes those who came before us or before you, weren't able to understand, let alone process, what has thus far gone unhealed. Sometimes it takes a courageous soul with an open heart, when the conditions are just right, to feel in order to heal, to process in order to free themselves. This card is an acknowledgement, a nod toward the work you're doing as a circuit breaker in your family system and in the collective. You're being acknowledged for the part you're playing in the healing of humanity through healing yourself and being with what is. You're being acknowledged for the part you play in healing your ancestral line and the collective too. Maybe you're in the midst of deep ancestral healing, and perhaps you're finding your way back to the surface, having journeyed through the depth of the line you came into. Try your best to honor the gifts of that line, as well as the difficulties. In doing so, you not only set your ancestors free, but you galvanize that energy and transform it into strength and support. There's an activation with this card as well. I honor my ancestors for the life that they gave me, and I set myself free. I set myself and them free. All right, so page number 62 was the page. They're asking me to read that as well. Take time to see the points of view of those you may be challenged by at this time. Call on the angels of harmony to ease any challenging relationships. All right, and one more of these cards I hear. There's two cards there. Do you want just the one? Keep shuffling. One will come out. Okay. That's more than one. Okay. They want me to keep going until one card comes out. It almost came out. There it is. Is that one? Yeah. Is it one? Is it? No, there's two. Okay. Sorry, I gotta keep going. They're trying to get just the one card out for me. They're new cards. It's a new deck, so sometimes it's hard to get the one card to come out. So bear with us as we do that. That's more than one. Oh, that's a beautiful card. But we must keep going until the one card is able to come out. I don't know how long this is going to take. Do you guys want me to cut, or do you want me to keep going? Keep going. Okay. Be patient. I will be patient. I guess this deck needs a good shuffling anyway. There we go. The in-between. This is interesting. I bet a lot of you feel like you're in the in-between right now. In between the old and the new. In between, just in between. Okay, let's read what the book has to say about the in-between. Let me find it first. The in-between, where is it? Ah, there we go. Interesting. It's in between the card Golden, which was the one I said was a beautiful card, and a Life Force. And this card is in between. So I feel like that's, maybe we're in between those two things. So it's on page 70. Let's go to page 70. Okay. Endings hurtle us to the edge of our lives, to the in-between. This quiet and uncomfortable place is one we'd prefer to avoid, and we'd much rather find more familiar ground. It's here that we're no longer where or who we once were, and also not yet where or who will be someday soon. We're in the in-between, between the tomb and the womb. There's often a letting go involved, a grief or mourning, a death of self or what once was. This card is one of endings, transitions, and new beginnings. That which was once important to us has changed or is changing. Our relationships, jobs, identities, ways of being, transition, change, and rebirth are imminent. But before anything new can come, we must let what has been end properly. It's in the in-between that we're in our becoming. And while this can sometimes last longer than we might want, it's actually a very exciting place to be. The seeds of the future are beginning to take root. And if we're patient, our second harvest will be even better than the first. It's in the fertile void between what was and what will be that we plant seeds for the future in the dark soil. And while it's easy to mistake this period as a stage of growth in which nothing much is happening, beneath the surface, things have never been more active. And one day soon, a whole new garden will be born. The activation with this card says, it's okay for me to be in the in-between. There's no rush. I patiently plant seeds for my becoming. I trust that I won't miss what's for me. Okay, so that was on page 70. Let me look at page number 70. Cosmic energy is surrounding you at this time. Know that God is waiting for your intentions to be clear in order to support their manifestation. So that's why you need to really align yourself with what increases your life force. Okay? So that the universe, the spirit world, Mother Earth, whatever you want to refer to this as, knows what to give you more of. All right? But as this last point in the activation for this card says, you will not miss what is meant for you. Okay? So don't rush it. Don't be scared. Don't be worried. The in-between is a great place to be. Sometimes it's uncomfortable, but it's a great place to be. And it's in between the awakening and the rising, right? And that's the activation. So it's time to activate yourself consciously by aligning yourself and choosing to pursue what increases your life force energy. And you need to go within to recognize that and to identify that if you haven't already. You've awoken to the fact that it's there. You've awoken to the fact that you can tap into it. You've awoken to the fact that there's something unique to every soul to pursue. You're in that in-between moment where you start to choose to rise. The rising is here. Okay? So it's kind of like the in-between moment is not, it might be brief for some, it might be longer for others, but the rising is here. Okay? So it's hard to tell where the awakening ended and where the rising is beginning. and the in-between it's all a continuum, right? It's like a spectrum, so it's hard to, like any spectrum, it's hard to tell exactly where one ends and one begins. But what the message is the awakening is over. The rising is here. That is what they want you to focus on, the rising, while you're in this in-between. You've done the awakening. You've done that. Focus on the rising while you're in this in-between. What is it that helps you rise? That rises your energy, your life force energy, that raises your vibration, raises your frequency. The rising is here. Okay, one more card. This card, this deck, or the other deck? We're gonna stick to this deck, okay? We're gonna cut this time, okay? I knew it was going to be the golden card. That's the card I said was beautiful. That's the card. This in-between is in between the life force card and the golden card. And look, there it is, in between. I knew it was going to be the golden card. That's so crazy. All right, 3131. Should I look that up? Not right now. Okay, 3131 means something for someone. You can look that up yourself. Golden. Okay, I know it's before the life force, which was 72 or 70. It was in between, yeah. Okay, so it's before that, so it must be 68. Yes. Okay, let's read this card. No one is immune to the highs and lows of the human experience. Change is a constant, and we're forever being invited to embrace it. Our grief shows us how much we love, and our souls came here to truly live. However, there may be moments in our life where it seems like we're given a golden pass. Everything opens up and seems to go right. It is at times like these that we must embrace every single moment, celebrate our wins, sing at the top of our lungs, just how grateful we are. This card is the most glorious card to receive. It's a sign that things are golden for you. Life is on your side. What you've been working toward is bearing fruit. You're in a very special place and are being invited to relish every moment. Just like the golden hour of sunlight before sunset, this card is shining a light on how things are working out for you. If it's a future position in the spread, then it means that the golden days are ahead of you, are ahead for you soon. So don't give up now, keep going. It's in the future position, so I'm just going to leave it at that. Okay. Inner temple activation. Okay, the activation for this card. Keeps getting darker and darker in here. I relish this moment right here and right now. I am grateful and I am blessed. It's safe for me to embrace it all right now. There's nowhere else for me to be and nothing else for me to do. Beautiful. Okay. And it was on page 68, so what is the message from 68? Okay. You may feel as though you are being blocked, but know that your angels are redirecting you toward your long-term goals. So anyone who feels blocked, know that. Your angels are redirecting you toward your long-term goals. All right? The awakening is over. The rising is here. It's time for you to rise and shine. I know that sounds corny, but it is. It's time to rise and shine. All right, that's your reading. Thank you.